What's up, everyone? This video is going to break down the full blueprint on how I got in the best shape of my life without any rigorous dieting or living in the gym. It's a little bit of a longer video, so if you're looking for a quick dopamine rush, then this probably isn't for you. And to be honest, I think it's a little bit less than an hour long, and if you can't get through the whole thing, you're probably not ready to take your physique and your mind to the next level. But if you are ready, then take out a pen, a notepad, take some notes, because there's tons of valuable information in here that you are going to want to remember and implement into your life if you want to take your physique to the next level, just like I did. Enjoy. How I got six-pack shredded in 90 days without dieting like a monk or living in the gym. For some reason, I could never lose the last layer of fat. I could never get rid of the puffiness in my face and arms. I always wanted to just look chiseled. I wanted to see definition in my arms and have my veins popping out. But I never had good genetics, and despite being super athletic all my life, even playing Division II college basketball for 3 years, I always felt like looking how I wanted to was simply unachievable for me. I worked out often. I was playing basketball all the time. I was a Division II college basketball athlete, and I still couldn't look the way I wanted to. I still couldn't lose the last layer of fat and was looking like this for way too long, way longer than I wanted to. I tried everything, tracking all my macros, rigorous dieting, lifting, and working out constantly. Nothing worked. It was only after years of trial and error that I actually realized what the highest leverage fitness principles are. And as soon as I implemented them, I lost 25 pounds in 3 months while gaining muscle. Now, who is this for? These fitness principles, who are these for? If you hate the way you feel and look under your clothes and want to look like a shredded movie star, this is for you. If you know your excess weight and lack of muscle are holding you back from becoming the best version of yourself, this is for you. If you want a washboard six-pack but don't want to track your macros or sacrifice your lifestyle, like going out for drinks on the weekend, hanging out with your girlfriend and having pizza and wine movie nights, this is for you. If you've tried diets and workout plans that didn't work and you're ready for something simple and effective, this is for you. If you're busy with life and don't want to spend hours in the gym or weigh out every meal to track your macros, then this is for you. Now, who is this not for? If you are one of these people, it's probably better you just click off this video now because this is not for you. If you're looking for a lose weight quick scheme that doesn't require effort or discipline, this is not for you. If you want to eat whatever you want and gain excess fat while calling it bulking, not for you. If you're only interested in getting in great shape without building the lasting habits to maintain it, then I promise you, you're going to gain the weight back and end up right where you started. So this definitely is not for you. If you're not willing to make certain sacrifices to achieve your dream physique, this isn't for you. And if you're not looking to level up your mindset along with your physique, then this is not for you. You have to be able to level up your mind if you want to level up your physique. Now, here's the truth. Most people think losing weight or gaining muscle comes from aggressive cuts and bulks, while you track all of your food and lift for 2 hours every day. The truth is losing weight and gaining muscle is much simpler than that. Eating a well-balanced diet that prioritizes protein, using the gym effectively as a tool to gain muscle by only going a couple times a week, instead of having to be a 2-hour daily chore. Living a movement-based lifestyle that prioritizes using your body as much as you can, and being strategic about when you eat your meals so that you can optimize for productivity and less hunger cravings. Now, most people think that this is how you losing weight or gaining weight is just in aggressive cuts and bulks while you track your food and lift for 2 hours every day. But don't worry, because I'm not going to let that happen to you. You don't have to live like a MyFitnessPal doppelganger robot bodybuilder to get in amazing shape and love the way you look and feel. You just need to focus on optimizing a couple key lifestyle factors. And if you want that person to be you, I'll show you exactly how to get a washboard six-pack abs without tracking your macros. How I took control of my mind and became overly disciplined and goal-focused. How I lost 20 pounds of fat in 2 months while still going out to eat and drinking alcohol. And how I put on muscle effectively while only going to the gym a couple times a week and losing fat in the process. Now, Before we dive in, let me give you a brief backstory about how I got here. As I said, I've always been a very active and sporty kid growing up, always playing sports, basketball, soccer, and I ended up taking basketball pretty far. I played at university for a couple years, as I said, and after leaving university, I completely fell off. I stopped playing basketball, started binge drinking, smoking, and eating whatever I want. Twinkies, pizza, burgers, fries, like complete crap, fast food every day. It was terrible. I completely fell off, had no ambition, had no goals. I lost my identity after basketball. I had no clue what I was going to do with my life, and this was terrible. I was working some job late nights in the restaurant industry and had no ambition and just ultimately hated where I was going in life and hated my life. So I resulted to things like drinking, smoking, and binge eating. After a while of that and realizing, okay, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, something has to change about my life if I want to have a meaningful life and be happy and fulfilled, something has to change. So I started to work out. I started working out and gaining some muscle and losing some fat, and then I quit weed and I was drinking a lot less and tried to clean up my diet a good amount. And over that time of trial and error for months and months, I was able to find my purpose, lose 30 pounds, achieve my dream physique, and conquered my mindset. This was through months of trial and error that I was able to find the thing that I had been searching for years and years, even while I was playing basketball, for years and years and years, on how to get shredded and look how I want to look instead of looking like this. After months and months of really trying to dial in and lose weight and understand what the different secrets are and doing a lot of research, I figured out what works best and I found my purpose. And now my purpose is I want to help other people do the exact same thing. If you're in a bad spot in life, if your mindset is all messed up, if you're addicted to eating, addicted to sugar, alcohol, weed, all those things, and you want to change your life around, get in the best shape of your life, feel the best, mentally and physically, I want to help you do that, and I believe that is my purpose to help people do that because I was able to do it for myself. Now, the thing that I created, the transformation that I went through is called the Wellness Blueprint. It's a curated lifestyle I built through my own trial and error by trying many different diets and training styles in search to find a way I could achieve an incredible physique without eating miserable food, tracking all your calories, and completely giving up on your lifestyle. Now, I've decided to break it all down for you for free. So you're going to want to take out a pad of notes and make sure you're ready for these 4 different pillars of the Wellness Blueprint. In the following steps, I'll outline the entire process from A to Z of what I did to accomplish these results so you can too use my Wellness Blueprint to shed fat, gain muscle without having to track your macros or completely sacrifice your lifestyle and living like a monk. Because we don't want that. What's the point in a life if you can't live it? What's the point in getting in shape if right after you're done getting in shape, you're just going to gain all that weight back because you go back to living your lifestyle? You want to be able to have something that you can implement, habits and a structure that you can implement into your life so that you can live this way forever, all year round, forever. There's no, I get fat in the winter and then I cut back down for summer when I lock in and go on this rigorous diet and I hate my life and I can't go out with my friends and I can't drink alcohol and I can't. No, you want to be able to do all of these things. So I'm going to break it down for you of how you can do all these things without sacrificing your lifestyle. The Wellness Blueprint. Okay. Implementing habits to maximize leverage with minimal effort. Let me say that again. Implementing habits to maximize your leverage with minimal effort. So, first one, reprogramming your mind for success. Now, the first thing you have to understand is reprogramming the mind is the most important and the first step of the process. If your mind is all messed up and you don't believe you can achieve the physique that you want and change your body the way you want, you will never be able to get there. First, you have to believe it here before you can it can be a reality for you. Your thoughts create your reality. It has to be something that you believe in yourself up here before you can do it in reality. So, reprogramming your mind through that, and then also turning discipline into habits. How do you turn being disciplined into lifelong habits that you practice every single day? Second, understanding key training principles to maximize gains with minimal effort. So, how do you train and how do you train for maximum gains? We don't want to be in the gym 5-6 times a week and we're really doing nothing. We're doing the wrong reps, we're doing the wrong weight, we're doing the wrong exercises. There's no point in that. You want to maximize while you're in there and not be there for 2 hours every single day. 3, dialing in your fuel source by understanding how and what you eat. This is one of the most important things in your life. When you can master what you're eating and what you're stuffing in your face, you have control over the rest of your life. And I'm serious. I'm going to teach you how to understand what foods are good, what foods are bad, and how you can eat to be able to have your dream physique without tracking your macros. You have to understand the foods in order. Kitchen is like 80% of a good physique. So you have to understand how to do that properly without having to track all your macros, because if you're going to, or eating a super rigorous diet that you hate and it's dog food and it's gross, like no one wants that. You want to enjoy food. I love food. You love food. We should still be able to enjoy food while still getting the goals we want. And I'm telling you, you can. And then mastering movement. Fourth is developing a movement-based lifestyle. This is very important if you want to be able to lose calories without spiking your hunger cravings and live a healthy, active lifestyle. And I'm going to break it down and get into it more in this I'm going to go dive deeply into each of these 4 stages, but mastering movement is the 4th one. So the first one, building a winning mindset. Discipline into habits. We want to be able to turn our discipline into habits. What does that mean? Discipline takes place for a very short period of time. And then once you have discipline enough once you have disciplined something at the start for a short period of time, it turns into a habit. That's what I mean by discipline into habit. So I'm going to break that down. First, the power of positive thinking. The power of positive thinking is the first thing you need to understand. The power of positive thinking is so powerful because your thoughts create your reality. Your reality and what you see in this world, the experiences you have, everything that you deal with in life is a reflection of the thoughts that you have. And it might sound a little woo-woo to you, like, oh yeah, sure, I'm sure. But it actually is true. The reality that you create for yourself starts here. Let me give you an example. If you look around the room right now and I were to say, find everything that has the color, everything that you see that has the color red on it. Find as many of those objects as you can. Look around the room right now. You look around the room, you've got it. You've got all the red things. Okay, boom. Now, how many things were the color brown? You probably can't tell me. You probably can't tell me how many things were the color brown, and you shouldn't be able to because you were looking for all the things that had red on them. You were looking for all the things that red, so you didn't notice any of the brown things. And that is the same for reality. If you in your head believe I am doomed, bad luck always happens to me, I am I have an unfortunate physique, I have unfortunate genetics, I'm a victim, everything happens to me, I am unlucky, and you believe all of these things in your head and you think about them all day, what's going to happen? You are going to look for evidence. You're not even going to look consciously. Subconsciously, your brain is going to look for evidence to whatever is going on up in here to make that true. So if you're thinking I am a unlucky person, your brain is going to subconsciously look for evidence to make that statement in your brain true. You're going to look for evidence. Why am I an unlucky person? Oh, this happened to me. Oh, I lost $5 on the way. Oh, that's unlucky. Oh, someone didn't hold the door for me. Unlucky. Like, you're going to look for every little thing. Whereas if you switch it and you say, I am a lucky person, lucky things happen to me, you are going to notice all of the lucky things that happen in your life. That if you were thinking you were an unlucky person, you wouldn't even notice, just like the red and brown example. Something happens. Someone holds the door open for you. Oh, I'm lucky today. Oh, I found $1 on the ground. I'm lucky today. I caught the bus. I'm lucky today. All the things, And you're going to spiral. And then when it really matters, you could say all that stuff's woo-woo, it doesn't matter, you missed, catch the bus. And then when something really matters, like you have to make a presentation at work or you're up for that promotion, you are going to think of yourself as a lucky person. You're going to be more confident. You're going to be more full of yourself, more yourself. You're not going to be thinking in lack, in I'm not getting this. And it's the same thing for your physique and what you eat. It's the same thing. If you think of yourself as an unhealthy person who can never get in shape, you'll be an unhealthy person who can never get in shape. You have to believe you can do it. You have to believe that it can be done before it can actually be done. You have to act as the person who already has it before you can have it. You have to understand that the power of positive thinking is so, so important, and that your thoughts create your reality. So make sure you're thinking positively and make sure you're thinking in abundance about the things that you want. Now, the next one, curating an environment for success. This is also very, very important. You want to create an environment where success is inevitable. It breeds success, your environment. You should be waking up in the morning and success is the only option. You should not have your phone right beside your bed. You should not have cookies in your house. You should not be hanging out with people who are just smoking weed and drinking all the time. Because what's going to happen? You're going to wake up, you're going to go on your phone. You're going to go upstairs, you're going to eat a cookie, then you're going to go hang out and smoke weed and drink. Because you are your environment. And it's so much easier to fall into the trap of your vices if your vices are surrounding you all the time. Like, it's just common sense. You should have an environment that you live in that is so curated to your success that if you want to deviate from that, you have to go out of your way to do it. It shouldn't just be so accessible to you. You shouldn't be able to just go reach in a pack of Oreos that's in your kitchen and eat a cookie. It should be like, if I want a cookie, I have to walk to the store and go get a cookie at 10 o'clock at night. Like, if you do that, you're really got problems. That's what you're going to think in your head. Like, okay, I'm not going to do all that. The cookie's not here. Okay, I'll eat some fruit. You have to create an environment that breeds success. When you wake up in the morning, you have to be ready. Your room has to scream success. Your room has, like, everything that you want to be successful in life, whether it's you want to wake up on time, you want to stick to your morning routine, you want to stick to your nighttime routine, you want to eat healthy, like all of your life, you can block out and make sure you are successful by curating a successful environment. And that leads me into my next one, is the power of no. Being able to say no to yourself and to others right away is so important. What I mean by that is, if you're thinking about doing something, if you're thinking about eating a cookie or something like that, if you're able to say no right away and actually and mean it and stand on that no, what your brain is going to do is start looking for other ways to look for dopamine. He's no longer going to be thinking about that cookie anymore. If you really say no and walk away, look away from it, and start trying to think about something else, or someone asks you, hey man, do you want to come get pizza with us? And you're like, no. Right away, no, I'm cool, I got food at home. And then you just stop talking about it. Then that is so, it will make you so much more successful than if you argue with yourself. If every time you think about having a cookie, you're like, well, I could, because I had some steps, I did some steps today, I did cardio at the gym, and I didn't have any cookies yesterday. Maybe I should have one. No. If you argue with yourself, chances are you are going to lose. If you're like, oh, maybe I could go out to have some pizza with you guys. Maybe I will have a drink. No. You are going to end up failing. You are going to end up failing if you don't say no, and say no right away and quick, and then that's it. So that is so important. Now, how to implement discipline. Now that you've got your positive, your thinking, your environment is breeded for success, and you're able to say no to things, how to implement discipline effectively. The way to implement discipline, as I said before, is you only need a short amount of discipline, and then it turns into a habit. Okay? So I'm going to explain why that is, and people might say, oh no, discipline is like this long, grueling no, discipline is short, and then it turns into a habit. And I'm going to explain that in a sec, but first you have to understand how to implement discipline into your life. Now, the easiest way I can explain that is you have to get dopamine from your past self. You have to, if you want to implement discipline into your life, you have to get dopamine from your past self. What I mean by that is you have to act like you have a butler. In every single part of your life, you have to act like you have a butler in your life. If you want to wake up early, you have to set out your clothes nicely the night before. You have to get your water right beside you. You have to open the blinds. You have to put your phone in the other room. You have to curate an environment for success and make sure that your past self is setting up future self, the discipline to succeed. Like, make it so easy for the discipline to happen. Make the barrier between not doing the thing and doing the thing so easy. What I mean by that is lay your clothes out. So right away you can just get dressed and clothes. You don't have to, there's not another part of your brain that thinks, oh, now I got to find my clothes and do this. You're going to get dopamine thinking, oh, this is already laid out, nicely laid out. Perfect. I can get up. Boom. I want to drink my water every day. I put my water right beside where I'm working at so that it's right here. It's right easy for me. I don't have to go sit at the computer and be like, now I got to go fill up my water bottle, fill it up and come back and bring in and drink it. No, it's right here, ready to go. You have to be able to give your past self has to be able to give future you dopamine, and that is what is going to implement discipline. Now, the next one is removing excuses from yourself. This kind of ties into the power of no. Stop arguing with yourself. Stop making excuses. Stop saying I'm tired, I'm not going to go to the gym. Stop saying I've eaten good, I'm going to eat a cookie. Stop making excuses. You said you wanted this goal. This is the goal that you want. You want a new physique. You want to get better. Stop making excuses and realize that it might be hard. It might be hard. You might have to tell yourself no. You might have to actually be like, no, I'm not going to get what I want. I'm going to be miserable tonight. And I'm not going to be able to eat the cookie that I want to eat. Maybe I'm going to have to go eat a bowl of fruit instead. Maybe I'm actually going to have to sit with my cravings and not indulge. Stop making excuses for yourself. And this is going to lead to my next point. No more debating. I say we do. If I say we're not eating that cookie, we don't. No debating. I say we do. You make the decisions for yourself. Your cravings, your desires, your FOMO, fear of missing out drinking, and desire to smoke weed, and the craving that you had for food doesn't make the decisions. You decide what happens. Don't let that take over your life. Your desires and your instant gratification thoughts, like, don't let that take over your life. I say we do. If we're not going out, we're not going out. If we're not eating this cookie, if I say we're not eating this cookie, we're not. You have to have that level of power over your subconscious mind and over your instant gratifications. If not, you're going to be cooked. I say we do. Now, understanding that how discipline turns into a habit. Before I said discipline is a short period of time and then it becomes a habit. You have to understand that. Let me give you an example. The best example I can give is something like someone who flosses their teeth every single night is talking to someone who doesn't floss their teeth every single night. And the person that doesn't floss their teeth is thinking, wow, this person flosses their teeth every single night. Morning and night, they floss it every single night. You have so much discipline. You have so much discipline that you can floss your teeth every single night without fail. And the person goes, no, it's not discipline, just part of my routine. It's just part of my routine. It takes 1 minute. They kind of laugh at the other person like, it's literally like just flossing your teeth. What are you talking about? And the reason that's almost laughable is because that's a habit implemented into that person's life. One person doesn't have that habit. One person does. So the person that doesn't floss is saying that takes discipline, when it would take discipline for him to be able to implement that habit. Because normally he just goes, I don't want to floss, and just goes to bed. But the person that's a habit, it's like it's already ingrained in their lifestyle. So it's not a whether of do we do it or do we don't. I need discipline to get there. It's just like, no, this is what we do. This is a habit in my life. It's the same thing like when you brush your teeth every single night. Someone could come to you and be like, you brush your teeth every single night, man? And you're like, yeah. It's just it's not discipline. It's just a thing that I do, my nighttime routine. I do it. It's a habit of mine. It's the same thing with anything, going to the gym, eating healthy. It becomes a habit once you've implemented it with a little bit of discipline. The gym is not discipline for me. I go to the gym often. I enjoy the gym. It's part of my life. It's not discipline for me to go to the gym. And if you're someone who's like, I am disciplined because I go to the gym a bunch, you're wrong. It's a habit in your life that it's just in your life. And all that someone that doesn't go to the gym that wants to, all they need to do is start going, deal with discipline, have discipline for a short period of time, and then it becomes a habit that's in their life and they end up just going. And that's just what they do. And it stays a habit until you stop that habit. So that's discipline into habits. You need to be able to understand how to create discipline and then have that discipline for long enough that it just becomes a habit, and it really only takes a short period of time. Next pillar that I want to talk about is maximizing your training. Maximizing your training for the highest leverage. I trained wrong for years. I was doing the wrong weights. I was doing the wrong exercise. I was working out too much. I listened to advice that stressed more complex equals more gains. And this could not be farther from the truth. I thought that going to the gym a bunch was great. Doing all these different crazy exercise, doing a bunch of high intensity workouts, working out even 2-3 times a day. And what was happening was I was constantly hungry and puffy because I was eating from the cravings of the energy exertion that I was doing at the gym. I was working out so much that I was so hungry and craving so much food that I would go eat to fuel my body, and then I would end up eating more than I was actually burning. So all the working out was doing was more. What all the working out more was doing was allowing me to eat more food. I was hungrier, and then in my brain I was like, I'm training a lot so I can eat a bunch of food. And it was killing my gains because I wasn't getting any time to rest. So I was working out too much and not resting, and as a result I was eating more food. And so I started to understand how training and muscles actually work and how they recover, and I implemented reverse pyramid training. And you can see it right here, what it is. It basically is the reverse of a popularized training method called pyramid training, which basically starts out at 10 to 12 reps, more reps, and less weight. And then as the sets go on, you up the weight and lower the reps. But the problem with this training is you are doing your lightest set of weight at the start of your workout. So when you're not fatigued at all, when you've just got in the gym, your muscles are fresh and ready to go, fully recovered, you are doing the lowest weight of your set, and then you work up to the highest, and then the highest set is when you're fatigued and tired and have just done a bunch of lifting. And this doesn't make any sense because you're fatiguing your muscles and then trying to lift heavier weight. And what's going to happen is you're not going to get the maximum gains because your muscles aren't breaking down. All that's happening is you're getting tired, and the muscles are getting tired, not stronger. And you're just not able to gain the most maximum amount of muscle growth that you could. So what I started doing was reverse pyramid training. I'd go from 6 to 8 reps, around the heaviest I can do at 6 to 8 reps. After I've warmed up, my muscles are fresh, and I'm ready to go, I do my highest weighted set, and I try to get around 6 to 8 reps of that weight. And then as the sets go on, I might progress a little bit more reps, a little bit less weight as my muscles get fatigued from muscle breakdown instead of muscle fatigue and just like endurance fatigue, if that makes sense. So I implemented reverse pyramid training, and I saw my gains shoot up exponentially because I was using my muscles. I was using the strength of my muscles, not for endurance, but actually for strength. So my muscles gained way faster than they ever have before. And that's the way that you want to be training. If you're trying to get muscles, if you're trying to gain muscles, this is the way you want to be training over anything else, is reverse pyramid training. Another thing I did was I cut back my working out times to 3 to 4 times a week. As I said before, I was working out 6 to 7 times a week sometimes. And I cut it back to 3 to 4 times a week. With basically, I tried to do one workout and then a day in between to rest, and then go back and do another workout. And the reason I would do this is because your muscles need at least 48 hours to recover. Your muscles, after a workout session, an intense training session of weightlifting, your muscles break down and recover in the cycle of 48 hours. And after 48 hours, they are primed and ready to go. So what I felt was after doing this and thinking, oh, 6, 7 times a week is better, more equals better, I realized that it's the same thing as the reverse pyramid training. You're fatiguing yourself, so you're not able to push hard. So I would go the next day to the gym and I'd be fatigued from the workout before, that I would be not even able to push the weight. I wouldn't be able to have a good workout. And then the cycle would be never ending. Every single day I was a little bit tired from the day before. Instead, you give yourself a day to rest and recover. You go back to the gym and you go again and you push hard as you can. Gain those muscles, go home, rest, recover, and just repeat that. Do that 3 to 4 times a week, and I promise you, your workouts will be more fun. You will gain way more muscle, because I found myself every time I'd go back in the gym, I was increasing the weight or increasing the reps that I was doing. Every single time, every week that I was go back, I would never hit plateaus because I'm giving myself time to recover. Does that make sense? So I was doing lower volume and higher weight. And that is the way you want to lift. You want to lift a couple times a week with lower volume, higher weight, and prioritize recovering your muscles, letting your muscles recover, going super hard in the gym, pushing yourself to maximum exertion at 6 to 8 reps, full strength, and then letting yourself rest. You also want to be resting around 2 to 3 minutes in between each set. 2 to 3 minutes in between each set, and then after your first set, you want to maybe drop the weight like 10%. You do like 6 to 8 reps, and then you drop the weight like 6 to 10%, depending on what exercise you're doing, what weight you're doing. And then you go for another 8 to 10 reps of a little bit of a lesser weight. And that's how you want to be lifting. The next thing I had to understand was mastering recovery. I understood how muscles repair themselves. Muscles repair themselves after, like I said, 48 hours to 72 hours after your weightlifting session. They are recovering and getting ready to go again. So if you go push them again the next day in 12 hours, you are going to be so dead. Your muscles are so dead that you won't be able to get any gains from that session. You might as well wait, let yourself recover, and then come back to it when your muscles are fresh and you can fully push yourself again and get that full muscle breakdown that you want to. Another thing that was essential for me is on the off days is you still want to be able to burn calories. You don't want to be living a sedentary lifestyle where you're just sitting all day. So I became good at doing active recovery, and this became essential in my life. I'm talking about things like skipping. Walking was a huge one. Doing chores around the house, moving my body, stretching, things like that are perfect things to do on off days and lifting days to be able to recover yourself, keep your muscles, the blood flowing to different muscles, keep the blood flowing, able to burn calories while recovering. My strength, as I said, increased like never before. I've never seen this much strength gain. I was always hit plateaus and be like, I'm not gaining anything. I would be doing high rep sets. I'd be doing like 15 reps of something. And then I would go often and I'd be like, why can't I never gain weight? I'm going so much and I'm doing so many reps. And it's like, that makes sense if you think about it like simply, but if you think about it logically, how muscle works, you push the muscle to max and then you let it rest and recover and build back up because it breaks down when you push it. When you lift stuff, it breaks down and then you let it recover, build back up, and then you hit it again. And that's how it should go. Now, my training days became more exciting and they weren't as boring for me because I was able to take a rest in between and then go back and really try to challenge myself again. And it was I was working out less, which means it became more valuable to me and more fun. I was able to, every single time in the gym I would try to get more reps, more weight every single time. And that was fun to me. Now, that's the training aspect. Now, fixing your relationship with food is the next portion. Food had become pretty much tasteless to me. I disciplined myself into eating like a dog, eating meals like this, chicken and rice. Hormones in my muscle gains suffered. My hormones were terrible. My muscles I was not gaining because I wasn't giving myself energy. You need carbs for energy. You need carbs and fats and protein and all these different things in order to have a well-balanced body and be able to muscle gain and have your hormones in check. The number one hormone for muscle gain, like the number one hormone needed to gain muscle, is testosterone. And if your testosterone is in the trash, you're not going to be able to gain muscle. So that was happening to me. I was eating meals like this all the time, and I was not getting any fats, not getting any carbs, and my My hormones were in the trash, and that's the reason I wasn't able to gain weight. I was dealing with cravings terribly because when you're not indulging in anything, any type of like fatness or like, let's say I was craving cookies because I wanted some fat and some saltiness. Well, if I just had eaten some more healthy fats and some more healthy salty foods, then my body wouldn't have had such intense cravings because I was getting myself that on a regular basis. But because I was depriving myself of all fats and all carbs because I thought that was going to get me shredded, what happens was my cravings went through the roof, and I was looking forward to eating the worst of the worst, the chips, the pop, the candy, the cookies, instead of just eating like normal, regular, whole foods that have good fats, good saltiness, good protein, good carbs. So I was dealing with cravings all the time, and what would happen is I would just end up binge eating, and I'd mess up my diet after a couple of weeks and just binge eat for like a day or two and completely like screw up all my progress. And it was just a never-ending cycle of like doing good and then regressing, doing good and then regressing. And it's like, what's the point in that? That's terrible. I was stressing about my food. My relationship with food was essentially terrible. I was stressing about everything I ate, tracking all my calories, and everything was so stressful. Every meal was like, oh, can I eat this? Can I not? Plug it into MyFitnessPal, see if it works. And it was so stressful for me that it just became so toxic. And that's not how food should be. And as a result, my social life took a major hit. I wasn't able to go out with girls because I was worried that I was going to be eating or drinking food that I shouldn't. And I didn't want to look like an idiot being like, no, I don't eat that. I wasn't going out with my friends because they would go and enjoy their life and drink some alcohol or eat some food, and I wouldn't do any of that. It took a major hit because I wasn't able to do anything that I enjoyed because I was eating like a dog. I was trying to eat so strict that it was messing up my life. I lost a bunch of weight, and then I would just gain it back. Lose weight, gain it back. Lose weight, gain it back. And while having everything like that I just named, stressful, no social life, and I wasn't even getting any gains that I wanted. Wasn't able to gain muscle, losing fat, but then I would just gain it all back when I would mess up the diet. And more times than not, the way that you lose the weight is the exact same way that you're going to have to maintain keeping the weight off. So if you have this crazy rigorous diet to lose the weight, chances are you are going to have to keep that rigorous diet if you want to maintain weight loss. That's the reason people don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand that. And that's the reason why 80% of people, I think is the study, 80% of people who lose weight from dieting gain all of their weight back within 3 years. They gain all of their weight that they lost in the diet back within 3 years. 80% of people. And that's because they don't understand that however way that you lose the weight is the same way that you're going to have to maintain the weight off. So you might as well find some habits and some lifestyle choices that you can implement forever, so that you can stay the same weight, feel how you want to, look how you want to forever, and it doesn't feel like a 1 month cut, 1 week of binge eating, 1 month cut, you don't want that. You want something that you can just sustain steadily for the rest of your life. And you don't want to be like this, obviously. So I fixed my relationship with food. I was able to eat a lot more foods like this after trying different viral diets like carnivore, keto, Mediterranean, and I came across the power of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, to me, was so crucial. And it's not some magic thing. It's not going to be some magic weight loss, like something that you're just going to lose a bunch of weight, you start intermittent fasting. But it is very helpful. It's helpful if you want to maintain calories for the day. What intermittent fasting basically means, if you don't know, is not eating for a period of the day, blocking out a certain period of the day to not eat, not consume calories, and then having another portion where you do eat. And this is what I was doing. I wasn't eating breakfast. I was eating until about 2 o'clock every day, or wasn't eating until about 1 or 2 o'clock. And what that does is, if I'm not eating breakfast, then that significantly increases the amount of calories that I'm going to need for the day. It doesn't spike my hunger right when I wake up. If I wake up and eat some food, what's going to happen is my body's going to be like, okay, we ate some food, I'm good. And then I'm going to have the crash. I'm going to have a huge spike in the morning right when I wake up of insulin, crash. And then what's going to happen after the crash? My body's going to be craving, again, another spike. So what I did was I would just not eat anything, and I would get a craving. I would get a bad craving, and my stomach would start hurting. And what that is it's your muscle, your digestive enzymes working in your stomach because it's expecting food. It's expecting food at that time, but you don't give it food, and then it has an intense craving for like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and then it passes. It passes, and you gain focus. You gain focus, you gain clarity, and your muscle and your body goes, okay, we're not eating right now. Now we just wait. And the insulin spike doesn't go up, and you don't crash. You don't have that tired, crashy feeling. And then you don't have that other spike again. It's just a even keel thing. And then around 2 o'clock, lunchtime again, you'll get another craving, but it won't be as bad. And then you eat during that time. That was how I was doing it. You can obviously do it your own way. But it was just easiest for me to not eat in the morning. I'd get all my work done. I'd be locked in. I wouldn't be thinking about food. I would get like some little hunger here and there, but it pushed me to work harder, kept me focused. I would drink a coffee. Coffee doesn't have calories. I'd drink a coffee a couple hours after I woke up, and I would just be locked in. And because I was eating less throughout the day in intermittent fasting, if I'm eating 2 meals instead of 3, it allows me to have more diet freedom. It allows me to take maybe what would have been 3 meals and combine them to 2 meals. I don't know why I just did that. That was weird. To 2. So you have 3 meals, you're going to combine them to 2 meals. Obviously, you have more calories to work with. You have more calories to play with, so you can have more freedom in your diet. You're able to eat different things because you're able to have more freedom. And that's the beauty of it. So I was able to learn how to build balanced, tasty meals with a protein focused. Half my plate was protein, quarter of it was carbs, quarter of it was some type of vegetable or fruit most of the time. And this was the way I would make my meals. I would structure them around my protein source and make them that way. And it was amazing. And the last thing you just have to understand is understanding how to master your maintenance calories and your in versus out. You know how many steps you're doing. You know what your maintenance is. You know what you can eat every single day to stay the same weight you are. This is so important. If you can do this, you can lose weight. All you have to do is eat in 500 less to lose some weight and 500 over to gain some weight if you want to bulk. And you have to understand how many calories you're losing each day, what your maintenance is. And if you can, and then after you've lost or gained the weight, you just eat at this maintenance. If you can do that within 200 to 300 of your maintenance every single day, you're going to stay the same weight. And that is the secret to being able to lose the weight and keep it off, is understanding your maintenance calories and your calorie in versus calorie out. How active are you? Are you going to the gym a lot? Are you playing sports outside of working out? Or are you just sitting in an office every single day? You go home and watch TV. You're probably not burning too many calories that way. So you got to understand this about yourself. Eating became enjoyable. Like I said, I was looking forward to my meals because I ate slower, because I valued them a lot more. I valued the taste. After eating dog food for so long, I valued the taste. After intermittent fasting for hours, I would value the meal a lot more and be able to enjoy it, eat slower. My stomach would fill up faster because my stomach was shrinking because I wasn't stuffing it all the time and expanding it. My cravings were weaker because of the insulin spikes. I wasn't getting so many bad insulin spikes. And it was something that I enjoyed to indulge in every now and then. I would have a dessert every night. I'd have some cookies. I'd keep some calories in my daily intake to go and eat some sweets, to go and eat something that I have been craving. And I actually enjoyed doing that. And what you'll realize is if you eat crap is that it affects your mood. It affects your life, your sleep, your energy, everything. So you want to be able to feel your best. And if you eat your best, you're going to feel your best. So there's like there's like a big kind of like axis that this works on, like something like this, right? If you eat terrible, you're going to be on this side. You're going to be terrible. You eat McDonald's, fast food all the time. You're going to feel crap. You're going to have no energy. Sleep's going to be bad. Your mood's going to be bad. And you're on the other side of eating healthy all the time and not starving you're starving yourself. You're not eating any carbs. How I was eating before. Dog food diet, nothing you enjoy, no fats, like just straight super strict. If you're on this side of the spectrum, you're also going to have no energy. Hormones are going to be in the trash. Your mood's going to be terrible. You're not going to have any energy. I said that, I think. But your hormones are going to suffer. And then there's the middle. And then there's the middle, which is where you want to be. You want to have like a 80-20, 90-20, where you're eating mostly healthy foods, whole foods, unprocessed. And then every so often you have some good time. You drink some alcohol. You have some dessert. You have a burger and fries. Like, that is where you want to live, in that balanced area. I started to look at food like a privilege, something I was excited to enjoy instead of a stressful craving that I was like, can I have this craving? I want this cookie. It was like something I enjoyed. Okay, I can have this cookie. It's not going to ruin my life. I ate more desserts and drank more alcohol, and I felt more free, and I got leaner. I was able to feel more free when I was eating more desserts and drank more alcohol because I understood everything. I would enjoy it a lot more. I wouldn't stress about it as much. The last pillar is movement. Movement is essential. Developing a movement-based lifestyle is so, so important. I was only doing high-intensity cardio, and it felt like a burden to do every single day, so I would often skip the workouts. Shot my hunger craving sky high because I'd need so much energy to go, and I'd expend so much energy doing high-intensity cardio, and then I'd be like, my cravings are so bad that I would end up eating more calories than I was actually burning in the high-intensity cardio. So my sedentary lifestyle, other than the high-intensity cardio, was keeping me fat. I would often skip the workouts, or if I did go, other than that, I was just sitting at home, not doing anything. And when I came across the power of NEAT, which basically means non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which basically means non-exercise activity that's going to like increase your heart rate. So anything like walking, moving, fidgeting, sweeping, chores, like anything that where you're moving your body, stretching, like anything like that is NEAT. And once you master the power of NEAT, some cultures that do it really well are like Japanese culture, Italian culture, a lot of like lean cultures around the world have mastered this, and that's why they stay lean. A bunch of other factors too, but mastering the power of NEAT, non-exercise activity, is so, so important. So number one thing is walking. Walking became super enjoyable for me. It was essential, and instead of a chore, it became super, super powerful and super, like, important in my life. That's the word I was looking for. Super important to my life. It would clear my head. I would be able to go there and my mood would completely change. I'd be able to listen to a podcast that I was trying to listen to some music, call a friend. Like, walking is so, so good for you, and you don't even understand all the other benefits it has. If you're feeling stressed or feeling depressed or anxious or anything like that, go on a walk with no music, no stimulants, and just walk and just feel the fresh air, breathe, and just after a 30-minute walk, it's proven your depression goes down, your anxiety goes down, stress goes down, mood goes up, endorphins go up, dopamine goes up, and your euphoria, you feel amazing. Try that. Try walking a lot more. I started using it as like enjoyable. It was a chore. I started walking to the places I would normally bus to or drive to, and it might take an extra 20 minutes, but it gets my steps in. It loses calories. It doesn't spike my hunger. That's another thing walking isn't going to do. It's not going to spike your hunger. It's not going to spike hunger cravings or make you super hungry for anything. So I started shedding fat off my body fast when I started getting upwards of 10 to 12,000 steps every single day. And I was shedding fat super fast. I couldn't believe it. Walking is the cheat code. Definitely need to master the art of NEAT. So the old me had to die. I used to be someone who was going to the gym every day for hours, dragging myself through high-intensity cardio workouts, trying to stick to a super strict diet that I would just give up on after a couple weeks. I was a slave to my desires and had no discipline or balance in my life. I was out of shape physically and mentally, lacked confidence in myself, dealt with depression and anxiety, and felt like there was no way out. It was to the point where I had almost accepted everything. I told myself I was unlucky, I had bad genetics, and a shitty mind that I couldn't control. It wasn't until I implemented these 4 pillars when everything in my life changed. Once I implemented these 4 pillars into my life and I started showing up as the person I knew I could be, this is when I completely changed my life around. And not in some overly miserable, no fun type of way. I was actually able to have my cake and eat it too. I was able to continue doing all the lifestyle things I loved while getting in incredible shape, not only mentally, but physically too. I reframed my body and mind, became extremely self-confident, started having much better success with women, felt like a natural leader, and all of my relationships with my vices like drinking, smoking, and lust improved big time. Not only did my body change, but my mind, habits, lifestyle change with it. This is how I will live my life until I am old and gray. Always improving, trying to be a better man who is full of life and gratitude for it. This is how I will live my life. I figured out a way to live my life, and the old me died, and the new me was born, and I will live my life with gratitude for everything because of this way of living. These 4 pillars have changed my life. Now that you understand exactly how this process works, I have an offer for you. If you're tired of training often and hating the way you look, if you're somebody who wants to get in great shape but can't commit to a miserable diet and lifestyle, and if you're done being someone who starts something but never follows through, and are ready to finally get a six-pack, lose the fat, and keep it off forever, unlock the physical and mental version of yourself you've always dreamed of, and lose 20 to 30 pounds of fat in 90 days while packing on lean muscle with the Wellness Blueprint, then click the link below and book a call with me so we can see if you're a good fit for my one-on-one coaching program, where I will personally work with you to achieve your dream physique. With the one-on-one coaching, I will personally coach you through your fitness journey with weekly video calls, a customized dashboard with your daily tasks, goals, and habits on it, in-app reminders, and a weight loss tracker, personalized diet and training programs designed by me for you around your specific goals and your lifestyle. And I will personally guarantee that if after our coaching program is done and you still haven't achieved the fitness goals that we set out for you to achieve at the beginning, I will personally work with you until you do. If you think that's something you'd be interested in, then book a call at the link below and we'll see if you're a good fit for the program. If you're not ready for a coach just yet and you want to do it on your own, then by all means use the information I just provided for you in this video and implement it into your life so that you too can achieve your dream body just like I did. Also, if you want more daily wellness tips, check out my Instagram page where I post daily at the link below. Thanks for watching.